everyone, I'm TWK of TWK Reviews, and welcome to a fan polled video. That's right, I had a little poll on Twitter to find out what my next video should be, and you all decided that it should be my favorite Tony Hawk video game. Now, is it Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1? No. 2? No. 3? No. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4? No. Is it the remake? Honestly, still have yet to play the Tony Hawk remakes. Is it Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD? Nah, not even close. Nope. Nope. It is Tony Hawk's. Wait for it. Motherfucker. It's Tony Hawk's fucking Underground. And I apologize for forcing you through my horrible singing, so with all that being said, let's get to this little review, shall we? Tony Hawk's Underground, or Thug as it's more commonly referred to as, was released all the way back in 2003. For the purposes of clarity, this footage is from the PS2 version. The main mode you'll be spending your time in is the story mode, which follows your custom skater as they do their gosh damnedest to become a worldwide superstar in the world of skateboarding. It isn't long before the game showcases one of the new gimmicks to help sell copies: walking around without your board! Yeah, the new mechanic of the skating game has nothing to do with skating, although it does allow for easier traversal and it can be used in a combo, albeit with a strict time limit. Our story begins in New Jersey. Yup, no town name, just New Jersey, and our best buddy Eric Sparrow wants to check out the Chad Muska demo, which is all good and dandy, but we still have one new gimmick to introduce. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, allow me to introduce to you driving, which, believe it or not, was a novel concept to be put into a game at the time. You gotta remember, this was 2003, and Vice City was barely a year old at this point. So, while this was clearly a product of its time, I can't completely hate it, as the mechanics aren't the worst and the driving missions don't overstay their welcome, unlike a certain game I could mention. Following the Muska demo, we impress the pro, and he even gifts us a skateboard and tells us to get sponsored by skating legend Stacy Peralta, who is actually played by the man himself. Peralta doesn't want any local spots filmed, and on an unrelated note, our best bud Sparrow sets a drug dealer's car on fire, which means we have to head out of town anyways. Gotta love how life works out sometimes. Next is beautiful New York City, where we do various favors for the residents of the concrete jungle before filming ourselves doing tricks over a flaming car. Why is the car on fire? Quite honestly, who cares, because our footage convinces SP to sponsor us and send us to our first competition, the Tampa Am. BT Dubs, driving from New York City to Tampa. Hoo boy, that's a long one. And when we arrive in America's Dong, we're stopped by the cops who force us to do some favors for them. We, however, get the last laugh by getting them to drive their cars into the water, so that's a nice and wholesome sight. On our way to enter the contest, we're stopped because Eric Sparrow mailed in the entry forms, but he actually only put his in, leaving us in the dust. On a more positive note, we impress some pros, including the Birdman himself, to get us into the competition, and we then proceed to massacre everyone! First place in the street and vert comps, and then we're only left with the best trick competition. All we have to do is not have the lowest score at the end of every 30-second period, and then boom, we advance. To say that we're in the lead during the entire duration would be a massive understatement. Alright, it's down to us and Eric, and he doesn't even stand a chance. Oh, and for the record, I'm playing this on normal, so even on the second most difficult setting, Eric is a massive pushover. After winning, every pro in the area wants us on their team, and they even produce recruitment videos to get us interested. After picking a random team out of a hat, I went with Girl! Next is San Diego, where we get to meet our manager Todd, whose defining character trait is that he's loud and fat. Loud and fat. Fat and loud. Do you get it? He's loud and fat! Ha! So hilarious. Anyways, after a party, Eric is shown to have joined the team and blames us for forgetting about him. This gaslighting motherfucker. Our next plot point takes us to Hawaii. Once again, nowhere specific in the state, just Hawaii. The tropical setting certainly is a nice change of pace, as is this totally normal tiki statue. Yup, completely normal. So, our main goal here is to find a cool place to get footage, and we do so on the roof of a hotel. On top of that, we do a McTwist off of the roof over a helicopter, which has got to be one of the cooler ways to end a level. After that, it's the gorgeous city of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, aka the home of the Slam City Jam, where epic video is set to be premiered, but not before we do a lot of leaf blowing, and no, that is not an innuendo of any kind. So we get to the premiere, and it seems that Eric doctored the footage to make it seem as though he did the epic McTwist. We don't take that line down and sign ourselves up as a pro so we can show everyone who the real deal is, because I guess that's just how you can just do things in the world of skateboarding. And well, that's kinda what we end up doing. While Eric's skills have improved, they're nothing compared to ours, and we destroy him in every single solitary competition. We are then made a pro by our manager during this celebration, and even get to have our own custom board design. Radness. Next is Moscow, Russia. The main thing here to note is that Eric is supposedly trying to bury the hatchet before he does so right in our fucking back as he steals a tank and then pins the whole thing on us, leaving our protagonist stranded in Russia.
When I saw him steal the guard's keys, I knew he was up to something stupid. I tried to stop him, but he wouldn't listen.
There's $700,000 in damages you're responsible for, no?
No, absolutely not. I mean, not me. This kid doesn't even skate for us anymore. Get the check from the parents. The kid's off the team.
Thankfully, we befriended some locals that may or may not be dubious in their intentions, but that doesn't matter because we're home free, baby! Hooray and huzzahs all around! Back in Jersey, we devise a plan with Mr. Peralta to make our own team, but without the blackjack and hookers that Eric Sparrow uses to corrupt the youth of our nation. We even get to name our team and put together a video, and by that I mean pre-made live-action videos. Eric then returns to brag about having the tape, and well, this footage is best seen for yourself.
I've got everything I need.
Not this. Remember? Hawaii, building jump, helicopter. That was some sick footage. Too bad no one ever saw it.
You backstabbing, mob-flipping cockroach!
Hey! What do you say? One last trip around the neighborhood. Winner takes the tape.
Yeah, if you've already cleared this story mode at least once, you get to just punch Eric right in the face. I love it! Otherwise, you would have had to complete this overly complex challenge that, you know what? Doing this is far more satisfying in my opinion. And that's the plot of Tony Hawk's Underground. It's very cheesy, and while it doesn't really take itself too seriously, it does so enough to create some decent drama. Eric Sparrow is easily the standout of the cast, being played by Ben Diskin, who you all might know as Haida from Agretzko, aka one of the greatest animes to ever anime. Don't at me, I'll fucking mute you. The rest of the cast does a decent job. No one ever really sounds out of place or too monotone, but once again, Eric Sparrow is the star. The main thing you'll be doing during this story mode is completing goals, much like any other Tony Hawk game. For the most part, they aren't all that difficult. The most challenging ones, for me at least, came from the pros who teach you new moves. Chad Muska's special grind was an especially big pain due to the length required. Another pretty difficult goal came at the end of the game where you have to play one of the pros of your team. For this particular challenge, we have to get a score in one combo. At first, easy enough. Then comes the twist. With every succession, we revert one entry in the Tony Hawk series, meaning we lose mechanics, eventually leaving us with no getting off our board, no reverts, and no manuals. I was raging at this goal for over 20 minutes, which is a very, very long time for a goal in this game. Eventually, I just gave up because, unlike Soulsborne fans, I don't like getting angry at video games. Thankfully, you only have to do a set amount of goals to progress within each chapter, and eventually I found some more manageable ones. The Slam City Jam Pro Challenge was easily my favorite. You have a set number of combos you can use to collect all the markers in the level. At first, this could be a bit difficult, but they do give you enough to finish the level if you plan your routes in advance. Once you're done with the story mode, you can free play any of the unlockable levels with a pretty decent cast of skaters and characters, which include Gene Simmons from Kiss and pre-MCU Iron Man. Yeah, I'll bet the license to get him here was about 1% of what it probably costs nowadays. The first level we have here is easily one of my all-time favorites, Hotter Than Hell, aka a Kiss concert. It's basically a stage set up in a desert, but my teenage mind was blown by how cool this looked. Best part? If you hit all 4 letters, the members of Kiss teleport onto the stage and perform one of 3 songs: Rock and Roll All Night, Lick It Up, or God of Thunder. The animations are minimal, but the novelty for this in 03 was off the charts. My favorite thing to do was to drive the buggy over what I assume would be the crowd area, if this game ever bothered to render crowds, during the performance. Next, let's take a look at some classic stages that they decided to put into this game. First up is School 2, which is just how I remembered it. I should also mention that you can turn on high score challenges, but unless you're keeping track with friends, it's kinda useless and pointless. My favorite part of this level is that yes, they included the unlockable gym area. More radness. Following that, we have Venice, which has never been my favorite level, but, it's fine. It just never really stood out to me, If this is one of your favorite levels, that's cool, but it was just kind of there for me. And lastly, we have the Hangar, which has not one secret area, but 2 secret areas. It's a small level, but it's a pretty fun one to play, especially with friends. And this wouldn't be a Tony Hawk game without a stellar soundtrack, and this game delivers. Whether you're a fan of rock, punk, metal, or rap, you'll find songs here to enjoy, and good for me, I'm a fan of all those! My favorite thing about these soundtracks is that they'll often avoid the big radio singles and go for deeper cuts from these artists. For examples from this game, Jane's Addiction, Suffer Some, Sublime, Seed, Bad Religion, Big Bang, etc., etc. As much as I do enjoy a lot of the singles these bands put out, it's always good to give some love to their lesser known tracks. As for the hip hop section, my favorites include Imaginary Places by Bus Driver, King Kong by LA Symphony, and Internationally Known by Supernatural, all bangers that you should check out ASAP. And that was Tony Hawk's Underground, a game that's perfect if you enjoy a narratively driven single-player mode, but if you prefer the classic style, then you'll have to wait for the sequel to get your wish. However, I do love me some story stuffs, so I replayed this game multiple times over in my youth, sometimes back-to-back because story-driven games in general were still somewhat novel back in the day, especially in the realm of skateboarding games. And that's the video, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed it. But before we go, I want to showcase one little thing with this. Instruction booklets. Don't give these lately. These now ones that are actual booklets. And unfortunately, this is not one of the ones that's in full color. It's very much in black and white. So you can tell this is during the days when it was kind of dying down a bit. Dropped it. I got it. Don't worry. See if I can find a good picture. We got a picture of some of these skaters. Not the most flattering pictures, I have to say, for all of them. Some of them, I swear, look like mugshots. Any other pictures in here? Pictures. Yeah, I swear, these instruction booklets used to have just loaded with these types of pictures, but I guess during the early 2000s is when these started going out of style. I used to have loads of these for PS2 and 64, and let me tell you, They don't make instruction booklets like they used to. In fact, they don't make them at all. They just put a little piece of paper, put it in the case, and boom, that's all you got. Maybe on the flip side, you'll get control tutorials, but that's basically about it. I'm feeling old. Anyways, next video gonna be something truly different. I think. Maybe. We'll see. Next time!